a bit cold today. Finally, we've had a frost. We are on, goodness, 7th of December today. So yeah, quite a few things to tell you about. Not a lot probably of change in the garden. In fact, I'm dreading looking at the greenhouse because I'm not quite sure what sort of state it's in. It's been wreath making mode at the moment. Pretty much finished. Just got some of these to deliver this morning. Subscription flower deliveries. This month is wreaths, as you might well have gathered. So first things first, I thought I'd just show you into my garage. So I've got lots of amazing eucalyptus which came from a local grower here, left over from the wreath workshops, and maybe I'll actually be able to make something for myself this year. So these are going to get delivered today. And unusually for this time of year, I've got a funeral tribute to do. So this is a mixture of dried flowers and fresh flowers. The fresh flowers are not mine, they came up from Cornwall. So we've got some ranunculus, some sweet William, the main ones in there, and helichrysum, dried helichrysum. So I'm delivering that shortly. Okay, very different picture this month, and I've been doing all sorts of things with apples, but there's still loads left. But the field fairs, the wild birds come and have a lovely nibble on the apples. That gives them a bit of extra food. We've just started feeding our birds as well. Food in the apple tree there. The honesty is looking really pretty. It's kind of peeling on its own now, and I've got some willow soaking in those baths down there, which I've been using for my wreaths. Everything looks so pretty this morning with a little dusting of frost on it. So the apple mint, obviously I'm not using it, but it hasn't really been hit at all yet. Still need to pull the phlox out. The honesty will be fine despite the frost. They're reasonably hardy. Just protected my agapanthus down there. They need to be moved under cover. A job for the weekend, but just a fleece over it for the moment should be fine. Okay, let's have a little look. A little pond, not with anything in it just yet. Plants waiting to be planted, and the deck is finished. A nice little covering of frost on it. Here we go. Not an awful lot to report really. Okay, so the cornflower, it's a hardy annual. Yes, there's been a bit of frost. I probably will put some Enviromesh over this weekend as well, but they'll be fine. This is the first of the frost. They'll be fine through this. There'll be nice strong plants in the spring or early summer. Same with the clary sage. Quite a lot of clearing to do. Still got the zinnia to do. I've still been cutting helichrysum. I used some in the funeral tribute I just showed you, fresh and dried. So long as you cut them fairly frequently, they won't go mouldy. If you leave them for ages, they're just going to go mouldy with the rain and things. More cornflower, I believe there. Helichrysum on this side. Nigella somewhere underneath there. Corn cockle. I did manage to thin out. A bed to clear, and the Phacelia probably needs a bit of propping up. I say that every year. Let's have a look at what's going on down here. Okay, let's start on the left. So the Amobium alatum, yes, it's cotton socks, it's still flowering. But it's not going to put up with too much of this weather. It does actually overwinter reasonably well, I'll probably just dig up some plants and give that a go rather than leaving them in the ground. Daucus was planted last month. More zinnias to pull out, and I've half chopped the cosmos but not completely. And in the border it's just shrubland really. I moved a few shrubs, we're pushing the bed back a little bit, so I've just moved a few shrubs, and I'm using no dig, just covered the area, the new part of the bed. It's got cardboard where I can find it, and then popped a tarpaulin underneath, and that'll just kill all the grass. So I've been using quite a few of these shrubs, the brachyglottis, pittosporum, the schizostylus is still going. That's it here. Okay, let's go down the middle, see how the perennials are getting on. So still quite a lot of clearing to go on. The status will definitely not like this frost. That needs to be pulled out anyway. Middle bed is empty. Scabious needs to be pulled out. The greater quaking grass is taking over again. And then quite a lot of clearing to go on here, ready for the alliums, which will pop up in the spring. More clearing, clearing, clearing. I shall wait for a little longer to cut back the autumn raspberries. Probably wait till January to do that. I'll leave the perennials until as late as I possibly can to give some insects a chance to overwinter. They're looking beautifully sculptural anyway. I do quite like their shapes and forms. Some thalaspi, which I let self-seed everywhere. The achillea, it's lovely shapes and forms. Verbena bonariensis, catanach, and then sedum over in the corner there. And then on this side, the Gypsophila paniculata. Again, I've cut a reasonable amount of this, been using it in wreaths just to give some texture and shape, which is rather lovely. Gooseneck loosestrife, I'll leave that as well. Echinops, mainly echinops there. Shasta daisy, did not like the hot summer, but I think we're all right. And I think I might move these grasses. Pennisetum halem, something like that, halem. Let's have a look in the greenhouse. It's a bit frosty in there. Okay, the pelargonium. Looking lovely in green, not sure for how much longer. Really pleased with the ranunculus. I'm trying to ignore them as much as possible. Trying not to overwater. I mean, I've hardly touched them, seen them even in the last couple of weeks. I've got some cuttings of Verbena bonariensis. Here's my sweet peas, which probably would be just as well out in the cold frame. And some more cuttings here. Lots and lots of hardy annuals, which are surplus to requirement. They're safe for my seed to vase group. The Ami is popping out of the cold frame, the broken cold frame window, and because we had some landscaping work going on, I made sure I preserved quite a lot of things. I've got a load of ladies' mantle there, so I split a lot of that. Verbena, Veronica, all sorts going on there. Not going to list them all. We've got a huge pile of waste ready to chop up and pop in the compost heap. With any luck, that's going to get done in the next couple of days. Obviously a huge amount accumulated from the wreath workshops too. Let's look in the big greenhouse. Let's have a look. So plenty of clearing to still do here. I'll dig up these dahlias here as well. That was a bit of an experiment. And then it's hardy annuals, which have been completely neglected, which is probably why they're looking pretty good. Daucus, which are kind of biennial stroke hardy annual. Oh, those clary sage look a little bit leggy. Can you see how these definitely need to be potted on? And if I lift them up, oh my goodness, listen to that. So all the roots coming at the bottom, that doesn't sound too good. So they definitely need to have some attention. So now that I've got a bit more time, I can pot those on. Melope, snapdragons, all sorts going on here. Oh, the cynoglossum. After Christmas, I think I'll wait until now, and then I shall plant those out. It's a hardy annual. More Daucus. I think there's a larkspur. And snapdragons. So I'm not quite sure how accurate my thermometer is, but it's saying around about 0, which is probably about right. Right, so let's look down in the orchard, Vanessa's orchard. Not a lot happened here. Oh, the light over there looks lovely on the trees. Okay, so more clearing required. So I was going to say I managed to get my dahlias labelled so that the birds wouldn't pull them out, and that one's broken. But most of them are like this. Must have Houdini birds. How they've managed to unpop that, I do not know. But they must all have about 5 labels, but I just find that these little ones down here, the birds just pull those out. So somebody suggested I got the wraparound label, so we'll see if that's made a difference or not, but at least I know what's what. And this is the first proper frost we've had, to be honest. Most of that's been cleared, just a little bit more to do, and then I really need to get that covered, mulched and covered. I could do with some muck though, I must admit. And then the biennials, foxgloves. Massive leaves on these foxgloves. Foxgloves, more foxgloves. That is Hesperus, Sweet Rocket, and then Sweet William. 2 beds of Sweet William, just need a bit of weeding. And there we have it. That sounds like Tim's starting up the mulcher, so we'll go and take a look, see how he gets on. Love the low light on these sorts of days at this time of year. We've got blue sky, we've got frost. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, but the sun's only just come up over the hill. So that's the end of the December garden tour. A whole 12 months has gone by. So do have yourself a really lovely Christmas and a fantastic New Year, and I will see you again in January.